Hello, Michael Wojcik with the Rochester City Council update for June 20th, 2016. Going to be relatively quick here. We were there for 3 hours, but I can't say we necessarily accomplished a whole lot, except for one thing that I've been working at for many, many years, and I'm very excited that we finally forced a vote and got it passed tonight. But first of all, we got our first food truck signed up. I don't know if it's going to be the only one. We've had a lot of people back away given our limitations and the high fees that we put on food trucks. Had a couple of development plats that went through. The only thing interesting there is that staff had some language in there that was incorrect after being told that it was incorrect last week, and we went ahead and removed the incorrect language. And here's what's fascinating. We had incorrect language that the city attorney verified was unnecessary, and we couldn't just get rid of it. We had to put it to a vote because Councilmember Hickey wanted to put the incorrect information in there, even after staff explained that it was both incorrect and unnecessary. So think real hard about that one. That's pretty frustrating when you have to deal with that kind of stuff. Broadband, in the committee meeting today, we had an update from RPU, and one of the things there, they're evaluating the business case for broadband, and looking forward to hearing what that is. And really, there's three different things that we're looking at. There's the Alcatel-Lucent, build the network out, try and offer voice, data, TV. There's the long mount approach, where we're just looking at what long mount did, basically offering fiber to the home, and they were able to do it for about $50 a month, which is pretty awesome if you ask me. And then there's also the opportunity to have a private investor come in here, build out the network. They control the network and we take control after 30 years. I am of the belief that we need to do something that brings affordable broadband to all our homes, and we need to be able to control the equipment in the ground to make sure we don't continue to get ripped off like we are today. Look, on June 30th, I'll be doing a little afternoon session at the area foundation building. We're calling it Rochester Broadband Ninja Training, and the purpose of that is, besides having a cool name, is basically to give you updates on where we are on some of the broadband activities, and really give you a lot of information about who supports municipal broadband, who opposes it, who thinks that we don't need to do anything with broadband because there's so much competition in Rochester that no one would ever want to come and compete here. And yes, there are people that say that. So we encourage you to come out. It's going to be the evening of June 30th, and you'll see a lot of events on Facebook and other places here advertised shortly. Next up, tax increment financing. One of the things I wanted to bring up with that is, one of the things I want to bring up about tax increment financing is a lot of places when you put tax increment financing into a facility, you're getting some affordable housing out of it, and that's not necessarily been our case in Rochester, and it's not going to be for a while going forward. And it's one of the little things that other communities have done with inclusionary housing, basically saying if you're getting public incentives of any kind, you have to have some level of affordable housing. Well, we've never been able to get anything going, and quite frankly, that's because we've had a lot of special interests at the table that have been steadfastly opposed to doing anything that would require affordable housing or tie those incentives to actually delivering affordable housing units. It's been frustrating. We brought forward national experts that could come talk with us and come up with some policies, advise us on putting ordinances or policies in place to create more affordable housing. And it's gone nowhere. One of the interesting things is that contract was one of the things it was going to cover is providing, answering questions and providing educations for key stakeholders like council members, and council members continually oppose it because they don't have enough information. Well, what do you want to do? I got sick of waiting, I got sick of the delays, and I got kind of sick of the special interests that have been fighting against it. It's some of the organizations that you would expect that don't believe we have a housing problem here in Rochester. And I said, you know what, enough of this. Let's bring it up for a vote. We brought it up for a vote, and it passed 5-2. I would say that that fifth vote was a little bit soft. So really, there were 4 solid votes, though, and I think that what that means is as long as the city of Rochester keeps at least 4 elected officials who are strong on affordable housing through the next election, expect to see some very strong affordable housing policies coming in. Expect to see Rochester a leader in the state of Minnesota on this particular topic. I've been advocating for this for about 5 years now, since I really adopted that issue, and I would say this is the most momentous and most important important decision that we've made to increase the supply of affordable housing in Rochester in a generation. Really, since we started putting CDBG dollars into the rehab program, this is huge for us. It comes at a small cost of $30,000, but hopefully we get some big gains on the policy that comes out of that. I'm really excited to see it forward, and I hope that this is going to lead to some real culture changes in Rochester. May we never again put millions of dollars of subsidies into a building with a blank 60-foot south-facing wall and no affordable housing, as we just did in downtown Rochester. We have the transit contract coming up again. That was the one that there was a lot of litigation, but little results for that litigation in the last round. And bottom line is we went out of our way to make it a fair process last time. In fact, we actually brought in a lot of outside experts to critique the applicants, along with having our own internal people looking at it. And it turned out the last round, the group that ended up going sue crazy after that, sued me personally too, which of course we won that in a relatively quick fashion. That particular organization was actually, the city staff actually rated them higher than the non-city staff, so I think that goes to show you how far out of our way we've gone to have a fair process. I actually pulled that to ask the person speaking to it, what exactly are we doing to make sure that this is a fair process for all parties? That's both the incumbent, the former party, and anyone else that would like to compete for the Rochester contract. We saved the taxpayers an enormous amount of money by putting it out for bids last time, and that's been very good for the taxpayers. So we'll put it out for a fair process again, and may the best company win, and may they deliver the taxpayers an outstanding price. So that's a little bit about what's going on today, but I am really excited about the housing, and just so you know, the folks that were the housing passed with Staver, myself, Bilderback, Sandra, and Campion supporting, and of course Ruska and Hickey opposing. And although Staver's comments were not the strongest in favor of it, but I hope that we get the appropriate combination of carrots and sticks out of this to do something that works for Rochester, and I think it's going to be real. I think it's going to be fantastic for generating affordable housing in the community. But now is the time to thank those council members that stood up and supported this, and reiterate that there is a problem, and be part of these working groups that we're probably going to be talking about housing going forward. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time.